It's update day on My Plug Life. And today we got a new update, 2020.36. This looks like it's gone wide, so everybody should have this, or pretty much to it, if you have advanced updates. If you don't, switch over to advanced updates and you'll be able to get this update probably. Now, this update was different than I thought it was. I thought it'd have a bunch of features that it actually doesn't. So let's go through what it actually does do, because it's a little confusing on this one. So the first part of this update is the Autosteer stop sign and street light warning. Now, I thought this means that you enter an intersection when you're driving and it's going to give you a warning saying you're an idiot, you just went through the intersection, smarten up. But that's not what this does at all. This only works when you're in auto steer. In other words, autopilot. Now, I've never had it mess up like this. So it looks like the only way that I can get this to go is if I would hold down the accelerator while entering an intersection where it was already red. It looks something like this. Now, in this intersection, I had entered the intersection. It was curving or whatever. It saw the red light, wasn't going to go, but I held down the accelerator anyways, and it just went crazy. I would expect this. This is something that I could see that they have had a while ago. It's nice to add on, but at the point where autopilot is, it's kind of redundant for me. There's no case that I would be pushing the accelerator just to keep going. So the second part of this update is the green light chime. Actually, I think this is pretty cool. So this is when you're driving up to an intersection, for example, and the car needs your authorization to continue through the intersection. So it's going to make a noise just like this. And you notice that it makes the sound twice. So it's telling you need to recognize that you're going into the intersection, and then just before you get there, this is useful, I guess. Coming in, I guess it tells you to pay more attention. So it's good for the autonomy. I think it's a good idea. Hopefully it'll make some regulators happy. But it'll also make the same noise if you're stopped in an intersection. The light changes green, but it takes a while. It's like 5 seconds or something like that, 3-5 seconds, somewhere in there before it makes that noise. Now, what it won't work on, though, I've noticed, is it will not work on the pedestrian crosswalks. Now, where we are, a pedestrian-controlled intersection is one with a flashing green light. So if you have a flashing green, it doesn't do anything. I'm sure it's still trying to work out how that whole system works in the back end, so it doesn't know that's an actual intersection to drive through. When I drive through these kind of intersections, the car has a bit of an issue anyways. So when it fixes that problem, this will probably carry over too, so we'll be good. So this last part of the update, I don't understand at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's called the cruise set speed improvements. So when you're driving, the intent is for this, when you're driving down the road and you're trying to set your speed limit on your car, you can hit the speed readout on the dash, on the center console, and it's going to change the speed limit that you're going at automatically to that speed. Now, explain a little bit more. This is an option. This is something that I've seen that has already been in the car for quite a while. So you're driving down the street and you set your cruise control, and say the speed changes, or for some reason it's set to a different speed, like you've slowed down and you want to speed up again. Instead of hitting your scroll wheel enough to speed it up, or hitting the plus button there, you could actually just click on the number of how fast it's reading the sign. Now, when you click that, it's going to set it to plus whatever if you have it set for that, and you're good to go. So I can't get anything different. Their description was basically that, but we had that already, so I don't know. Now, the other thing I heard that was supposed to be, or the rumor is that for another thing for this car is supposed to do, is that back in the day, when they had Autopilot 1 on the early cars, they were with Mobileye, and Mobileye had a way of recognizing signs on the road that had speed. Now, because they were working with Tesla, and Tesla and them had a bad breakup, Tesla, to follow the law, is required to do a different way of recognizing those same signs. So they know how Mobileye did it, or mostly how they did it. In order to keep their patents and all that kind of stuff all clear, they have to find a new system for reading those signs. And I had thought that would come into play, where it could read the sign on the road and recognize the speed limit. But it does not do this at all. There's a street where I live where the speed limit goes from a 60 to a 70, but it doesn't change your speed at all. Now, on the back end of the system, we most people don't realize is that the maps in the system have set speeds for certain areas. And that's what it's using. It's not actually seeing your street sign. It doesn't know what the sign says. If you entered a construction zone and it's now 30 kilometers an hour, it doesn't know, so it doesn't make that change. But when it can recognize that, then it'll be a lot better. Then it'll know speed zones better. I'm certainly waiting for that. I was super excited to see that in this update, but that's not a thing from what I can see. So this update occurred pretty quick after the last update, which is amazing. It might not be a big update, it might not be a big thing, but every time you went into the car and it's slightly different, slightly better, it's exciting. So that's pretty cool. I love doing these videos. I love seeing these changes, and I can't wait till we get to the next level on everything. Now, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, just hit the thumbs up twice. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next one on My Plug Life.